Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about the late night shows and the drama. Jimmy Kimmel's audience numbers are dropping off a cliff. He's lost 71% of his viewers since the Charlie Kirk banning. I don't know what you want to call it. The silencing.
He had a bunch of viewers when it came back, and surprised to no one, it just went off a cliff again because he just went back to the same old crap he was doing. He was basically didn't apologize and then immediately just started, the same stuff that caused him the trouble in the first place. And it went back to what it was when no one watched.
We knew this was going to happen. He was only going to get a bump because people wanted to see what he said. And that's on both sides of it. They want to see if he apologized, didn't apologize, he doubled down. He did double down. And everybody just kind of walked and forgot about it. But we're going to talk about that and compare and contrast it with Jimmy Fallon, who I believe is doing the right thing and trying to stay out of politics during these unprecedented times because he actually wants to keep his show on the air. And it's not because, he's afraid of getting yanked off the air. I think he's afraid of the advertisers jumping ship, the viewers jumping ship. I mean, you really can't go hard in the paint on politics and win if you're supposed to be a middle-of-the-road late-night show. Mm-hmm. Right?
Exactly.
And BlueSky is really mad about it. We'll talk about that.
Oh, shocker.
Of course they are. Of course they are. So, before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Go out to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com. Sign up for notifications of videos in case you missed them on YouTube. YouTube does not send notifications like they used to, because they're YouTube. And also, we've got paywalled content out there as well. So thank you very much for the support. It's coming from the Daily Mail. Jimmy Kimmel's audience boom comes crashing down as he loses 71% of his viewers in 1 week.
I don't know why they surprised. Because like you said, they're just wanting to see if he apologized or not. And he didn't really.
No.
Anyway, same old. And now it's back to what it was. So if you had no audience before, what makes you think the audience is going to be there after? Because you never had it to begin with. And Disney was just looking for a reason to get rid of him because he didn't have an audience.
Yeah. They said on Thursday, October 2nd, Jimmy Kimmel Live averaged just 1.9 million total viewers, down from the 6.5 million who tuned in for his comeback, his 3-day absence or whatever it was, sabbatical, his vacay. Among the coveted 25 to 54 demographic, the hemorrhage was even worse, with Kimmel drawing only 265,000 viewers, an 85% nosedive from the 1.7 million he scored just days earlier. There are streamers that get more viewers than that. And they work out of their houses, right?
Yep.
I mean,
they don't have a huge team that you're paying how much money to.
Right. I mean, that's what's crazy about this. That figure marked his smallest demo audience since the suspension and signals a brutal come down for a host who had hoped the furor, no, we're not talking about Trump, surrounding his suspension would translate into ratings gold. Yeah, for a couple of days and then everybody's going to forget about you just like they did before. Mm-hmm. Like you weren't that popular before. Mm-hmm. You got the Trump bump, right? You got the Trump bump. You might hate the guy, but you got a bump from, talking trash about Trump and Kirk. And then people are like, yeah, he's still the same unfunny late night he was before.
Go back to what you were doing and you have to, keep the audience's attention, past that. He can't. He cannot do it.
So this happens a lot with people, not just, in Hollywood, but in the internet space too. People get a bump for covering like a certain topic or, being in the right place at the right time, but then they can't keep the momentum up because
you can't keep it up.
You can't keep it up. But that's the thing. You can get them in the door, but you need them to keep coming back. Right. And that's just true of any marketing. Like it doesn't matter how good your marketing is. If your product is ass, people are going to walk out.
Keep it up. They won't come.
That is true. Stem cells are like tiny repair crews in your body. They go and fix things that need to be fixed. And guess who's been ahead of the curve on all of this? Joe Rogan. He's been talking about this for years. Just watch.
I had a full-length rotator cuff tear, and the UFC gave me a doctor in Los Angeles, and he looks at my MRI and goes, "You're gonna need surgery." I go, 100%? He goes, "I don't know how you're using it now. It's a matter of time. You're gonna need surgery, so it might be better to do it now." So I got it shot up with stem cells. And this was the early days of stem cells in America where you could get away with more. You gotta go to Mexico now.
But here's the craziest part. Most stem cell therapies are illegal in the US, not because they're unsafe, not because they don't work, but because they work too well. And that threatens big pharma. If you could heal your knees, fix your back, or recover from surgery without pills, insurance, or endless doctor visits, what happens to their profits? The FDA has blocked these treatments. As a result, people are forced to go overseas just to get access to their own biology, and it's expensive, unregulated, and out of reach for most of us. Just one placenta stem cell injection can set you back $50,000. Honestly, I don't have that kind of cash on me right now, but here's what most people don't know. There's a natural way to support your own stem cell activity, and it comes from high flavanol cocoa. Studies have been done to show that the flavanols in cocoa stimulate stem cells to come out of your bone marrow like bees coming out of a beehive in your bloodstream. Harvard scientist Dr. William Lee actually backs this up. Check out this clip.
So, studies have been done to show that the flavanols in cocoa stimulate stem cells to come out of your bone marrow like bees in a beehive in your bloodstream, and they go out and they find wherever it needs to be repaired. If it's in your heart, they'll fix it. If it's in your liver, they'll fix it. If it's in your skin, they'll fix it.
That's right, dark chocolate. But here's the thing. Flavanols are the good stuff found in cocoa beans, but they're usually destroyed during the chocolate making process. That's where Black Forest supplements come in. They've created the first ever high flavanol cocoa powder packed with everything your body actually needs. And it's only 20 calories. Mix it in with your coffee or your protein shake. It tastes amazing. This isn't regular cocoa, it's stem cell fuel. No sugar, 20 calories. Mix it in coffee or shakes. If you feel old, slow, or just off, lazy stem cells might be why. But this, it flips the switch. Over 100% increase in stem cell circulation, according to Black Forest Supplements. 40% off. Get 40% off for 48 hours only. Link in my description or the pinned comment below. Don't miss it. That's blackforestsupplements.com/clownfish. blackforestsupplements.com/clownfish. Thank you very much, Black Forest, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into the news. Kimmel's recent troubles began after he falsely suggested Tyler Robinson, the suspect in the assassination, was affiliated with the MAGA gang. Yeah, that's what
he said.
Really did. Yeah.
And then, he did. Then this apology was basically like, "I'm sorry that I'm sorry that you were mad and you heard what I actually, I said. You took what I said as what I said. You didn't apologize. It was really, really ridiculous. And then you went right away into a skit making fun of, the FCC and all that other stuff and Trump and everything. You just went right back into it. And you made jokes. My ratings are the best tonight. Ha ha ha. Yeah. And they're right back where they were because there's nothing of value to keep people coming back.
Yeah, and the whole thing, it was misrepresented by the media because the media is mad at Trump. But what happened was Sinclair and Nexstar pulled. They were going to preempt the show, and advertisers called Disney and pulled. And that's at the end of the day, like, you can get away with a lot, but if you're not bringing in money, if you're losing the company money, then they're going to do what they have to do.
Comments like that right after that, right, the situation was just new and happened, was never a good idea. And they're like, everybody's like, I don't want any part of this. I want to be distanced from this because just right after everybody's getting in trouble for making the comments they're making about, cheering it on, and people are getting fired. There's all kinds of companies people are calling companies up demanding, they handle their employees, and all this stuff was going on. And then he went and did that. Of course, they don't want anything to do with it.
Then Colbert and Kimmel are commiserating about Trump, calling him a son of a bitch on the air. So yeah, they bring this up too.
What's going to happen? Yeah.
This is correct. Gutfeld, who, again, he was another one of these talking heads. I was barely aware of who he was until...
I knew he was because my parents talk about him all the time.
Well, they watch Fox News all the time. So, I don't want... Believe it or not, I don't watch Fox News. I think
my
it's
parents do, and they love Gutfeld.
But he actually had a huge bump. They said, well, Kimmel barely cracked 1.9 million viewers.
Bump before that. He was beating all of them before this.
They said that, he had a 49% lead in the 25 to 54 demo. He has 370,000 viewers compared to Kimmel's. That's on Fox News. That's not even on a major broadcast. It's on News Network. Mm-hmm. And, he went on Jimmy Fallon, and we're going to talk about that because Jimmy Fallon is getting in hot water with the weirdos on Blue Sky because he's basically like, hey, I want to keep my head down and avoid politics on the Tonight Show. And he had Gutfeld on, and people were calling him out for that. But there is a clip of Johnny Carson that's making the rounds ever since, Kimmel and Colbert decided to go heavy into the politics, where Carson's like, part of the reason we're successful is we don't go heavy into politics, and we're here to entertain people at the end of the day. And I mean, and this was, years and years and years before, obviously, because, he's dead. It was like a long time. He's like, yeah, we just don't go there. And there's so many things that happened during his tenure on the Tonight Show that they could have commented on. Like, he could have been constantly, beating the drum on, like, Vietnam War or something.
Well, for a long time, they always said, and I don't disagree, that religion and politics are the two things you shouldn't talk about in regards to work. And there's a reason why they always said it. There's a reason.
Yeah.
Look what happened when you don't listen.
I mean, people, they watch these late shows. Historically, they're winding down their day. Actually, historically, it comes on after the news. And a lot of people fall asleep to these shows. So the first 20 minutes are it's the only time that matters. But people are winding down their day. They don't want to be hit with more stress, right?
Right.
They want to, see some celebrities, have a few laughs and whatever, and then go to bed. And
you just have to be entertained without constant political messaging, and then that's why people are so upset. They're so depressed. I mean, you see these people that are politically pickled, especially the ones that are constantly online, like looking for people to cancel. They're miserable people. Yeah, because their whole life revolves around this. It's like, you guys are just miserable.
That's it. It's like, I mean, you like wake up angry, right? I mean, it's people, they go to bed angry, they wake up angry, and there are people out there
looking for things to be mad about all the time.
There are people out there right now who, and I see them on Facebook all the time, like their entire personality is just being angry about the government, being angry about Trump. It's like, how do you exist? Like, how do you just live your life? Everything that goes wrong during the day has something to do with Trump. Like, it's, and this, we saw this before in 2017, 2018, but it's so much worse this time because I think they honestly didn't think he was going to come back. So now they're like, their whole worldview has been shattered. Like, not only did he come back, he came back with a vengeance, and the majority of the country voted for him. He won the
popular vote, and I mean, dude.
And they're like, how could you put, like, Mark Hamill? He was just completely baffled. Because outside of LA, Trump's popular, and he's like, how could they put a Nazi in as a president?
How could they come back in? Because they're tired of you.
Yeah.
Everybody is tired of, this constant political bullshit. They're tired. They're tired of all of it. And they want someone to fix it because they're tired of it. And they're tired of being told that if you complain about anything, you don't like something, you're a terrible bigot person and everything else. They're just tired.
So this is what Fallon said. He said, we hit both sides equally. We try to make everybody laugh, and that's really the way our show works. Our monologues are kind of the same we've been doing since Johnny Carson was hosting. And Jay Leno actually said kind of the same thing. He's like, I tried not to get too political, or it was light ribbing. They make fun of like the president puked on the Japanese prime minister or something like that.
I forgot about that.
Do you remember that? It was like Bush. Yes. I think he barfed on the prime minister or something, like stuff like that, but it wasn't like, and also he's a literal Nazi.
Right. Yeah.
He said, I just keep my head down, make sure the jokes are funny. And I think if anybody's going to survive the purge, I think it's going to be Fallon, not because Trump's not going to, take him out. I think he's made comments about Fallon too, but because audiences and advertisers will be like, you know what, this guy's all right. I'd rather give him our money than give it to Kimmel or Colbert because I don't know what the hell they're going to say. But Blue Sky is not happy.
Oh, Blue Sky. Has Blue Sky ever happy? See, that's
Blue Sky is never happy. It's the most miserable place on the internet.
Ever happy? The answer is no.
Julie Cohen says, there's a choice to make. Keep your head down or hold your head up. Jimmy Fallon makes his choice clear. What a weasel.
So basically, he won't go and say what we want him to say. And this reminds me of people that those that are in the middle are worse than those who pick a side. It's like, no, they're not. They're just, they're not. Because at least they can look at both sides and they can take, they can judge fairly. Like, my mom always said people vote straight political ticket, but sometimes there's candidates that are good candidates. It might just be on the other side, but they're the best choice. And no one will even look at that anymore. They won't even look at what's the best choice. They'll just look at what they're told to do.
God, these comments. These people are like, they expect this guy to be a political pundit because everybody's a political pundit now. Wow, what a punk ass move. I never watched his show. I'm guessing many in Hollywood will do the same, including continuing to go on his show while the country burns. Pathetic. To be fair, he's never been good at it. Always been super basic. Following in the weasel footsteps.
They all loved him when they thought he was saying something they liked to hear.
Following in the weasel footsteps of Jay Leno. This guy here, like, makes me wonder if he's ever read Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from a Birmingham jail. If he has not, maybe he should. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to get right on that.
Wait, Martin Luther King Jr., they bring him up all the time, but like what he said and what they say he said are two different things.
Yeah. Here, because he had Trump on years ago. Jimmy Fallon shows who he was a long time ago. Sad but true. I'm still disappointed. Definitely not in the same league as the rest of the Strike Force spies. All the late night hosts, won't be watching. They're just like, they're all Boing Boing did a hit piece on them. Jimmy Fallon plans to keep my head down. Around? Yeah, Boing Boing's still around. Somehow Boing Boing is still around. Which is crazy because Boing Boing's been around they need money though.
I'm just like, wait, I didn't know they were still around.
Yeah, they're not relevant, but they're still around. Let's see, this one's up. Phil Lewis, Jimmy Fallon plans to keep my head down and avoid politics on the Tonight Show. We hit both sides equally. Pop bass. He's going to keep his head down amid disruptions caused to his peers' shows that they caused themselves.
They did.
Because they pissed off the advertisers.
And here's the thing, though. It's like, how is this? We want to apply to both sides because we need to get the views from both sides. And, you don't want to alienate people. You want to meet in the middle. We want to try to find more common grounds. People aren't so, polarized. How dare you? And this is just like the people about CBS. Just like that. We're going to try to keep it centrist. Well, there's going to be bias. It's not our bias. And that's what they're mad about. There's going to be bias, but it's not our bias. And that's just
exactly
it. You guys are so full of shit. It's ridiculous. And why does everybody keep mocking you? And why does everybody keep turning and going the opposite direction from you? Because you are acting the way you do. Why is BlueSky a flipping joke to everyone? Because you keep acting this way, and all you're doing is pushing everybody the other way more and more and more. But Jimmy Fallon, if he tries to keep it in the middle, he's gonna still have an audience because you're appealing to everyone. Whereas other people just keep going too far in the paint, and that's why their views suck. It's not hard, not rocket science.
Here, this one though, I gotta end it with this. Bring on the Headless Horses says, "You fucking coward, you fucking pussy."
Because he said he was gonna not try to keep it out of politics and try to play it in the middle and try to go back to entertainment. How dare he? How dare he? Well, all you people bitching and moaning about it, why don't you go start your own? Oh, right. You have to have, some white guy say you have to have talent, but no, that's not true. But, it takes effort, it takes knowledge, it takes some different things you guys don't have. Y'all just bitch and moan. Meanwhile, your boys that you like are failing miserably. They're getting their shows canceled, and Gutfeld's kicking all your asses. So there's that.
Yeah. So we're going to wrap this up.
Yep. Read the room, bitches.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.